Underk hip-hop.
Pinnacle, let you know how we used to do back in the natty, you feel me? You only had two options, right? See, either you what I feelin' with a bit of lyrical adrenaline, I get a little bit ignorant when I get it in, give a little bit of hit a pinnacle with an epiphany. He could be anything that he lit to be. Consider me the epitome of the industry. Wanna get with me, give me a little bit of cheese. Pencil ability, showing mental capabilities. Taking it from the natty all the way to the Philippines. I'ma let you know that it's over, man. I got the force of a boulder, man. Like a spray you with gas while I hold the can and I'm back.
What's going on, Underk Hip Hop? This is your boy Pinnacle TheHustler. I have a few questions that I gotta answer from from the website. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to them. Question number one.
Yeah, bring it in, Brock. I love it, man. It feels good. But look, baby, I gotta talk to you.
Sure. I came to Korea initially as the best English teacher that this world has ever known. Ever. Actually, the plan was just to work in Korea for 1 year and then bounce. But I ended up getting involved in the Korean music industry, and my career pretty much took off from there.
It don't mean that I'm evil, but when it come to my family, I just know how to treat them. See, I'm out here hustling, woman. Can't you see? Take a lot of money to make it now.
Well, nothing really made me switch to hip-hop. I've been around hip-hop all my life. I've been rapping since I was a kid. I live hip-hop because I am hip-hop. However, I decided to take on a career in entertainment because once I saw how things work behind the scenes in the industry, I had more of a clear idea of what I needed to do and how I could get there.
My dudes back home, I'm saying all my bros. You can't be mad at me, man. I'm gonna be home soon.
I met the Roots when I was in college, and Black Thought actually told me to quit rapping and not to pursue a career in music. And that stuck with me for a long time because I just couldn't figure out why he would discourage another brother to not pursue something that we both passionately believed in. But eventually I understood. The Roots are certainly legendary in hip-hop culture, but they're not considered a mainstream act. And without a long list of overproduced auto-tune records, flashy chart-topping singles, it does make a musician's life very difficult when trying to maneuver through this superficial industry.
Man, I'm really not gone, but I had to go get it, cause I'm a go-getter. I'ma come back with a pound on my chest like a gorilla, yo.
Actually, no, I don't. I left the U.S. 1 month after I finished my final college course, and I've been on the go ever since. So no, I don't have a career in the U.S., but I guess more of on a global sense I do.
Sometimes I'm approached by hoes who've been at the shows that wanna mud wrestle without the mud and without the clothes, trying to give me the booty and the drawers.
Not really. I see a bunch of posers in both countries, actually. I see a bunch of new Korean artists that try to act real black in their music videos and during concerts, but then they get real shy when I come around. On the same side of that token, but on the other side of the world, I see a bunch of soft-ass dudes acting all tough in their videos and making threats on stage, but they never take action to back up their words or their lyrics or their songs. However, I also see a lot of really dope Korean MCs that take this culture very seriously. They put in work to make good music. There's artists like Vasco, there's Be Free, there's Swings, and these type of artists really give Korean hip-hop a good look. In America, there's artists such as Action Bronson, Hobson, and Kendrick Lamar. They've really worked hard on different levels of the game to elevate the culture. So these are the type of artists that I respect and I appreciate.
Grind your heart out. Yeah, Pinnacle TheHustler.
Yeah, Korean hip hop definitely brings something different. It's like watching the development of hip hop all over again. Now, I'm an 80s baby, so I didn't get to watch hip hop culture develop before my eyes. I can only read about it and listen to recollections from the older generations. But, it was already there and growing once I was born. However, in Korea, it's still evolving. It's not mainstream yet. And, but more and more people are catching on. So to me, it's really exciting to see the growth and see how people relate to it in a different country.
We are in soul with soul. We gon' make you move your insoles with flows. We ain't gotta scream and shout. This is hip hop, baby, so you know what it's about. We are in soul with soul. We gon' make you move your insoles with flows. We ain't gotta scream and shout. This is hip hop, baby, so you know what it's about. We hyping Soul City, but it's musical activity.
Well, like I said in my previous answer, hip hop is far from being well developed in Korea. It still has a long way to go. Many of the more successful hip hop artists that have acquired widespread popularity, they're more hip hop. However, Drunken Tiger, they've definitely become like the premier group in Korea. They stay very true to hip hop. The B-boys over here are absolutely amazing. Like, some of the things I've seen Korean B-boys do are extremely impressive. With that said, you got to understand that the culture of Korea is study, study, study. Don't live, don't think, just study. And I've noticed that this mindset is applied to hip hop as well. There are so many people that they study hip hop culture and they just replicate what they read in books or what they see in videos, but there's a small group of people that actually live it. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference between studying your craft and living it. And once hip hop lifestyle becomes a part of who they are, as in regards to Korean hip hop, then the culture will develop exponentially.
And now I'm here, living in Korea with Pinn and J Kia. I had no idea that I'd be living in so cold. They look at me crazy like, what is you loco? But all I know is I can rock the show with flows over percussions, keep them heads buzzing. What a little something to make your head nod, your heart throb, your body rock. But at the end of the day, you call it hip, hip, hop, hop. Shouts to Jay Dilla, there is none iller than Dope Beat Builder. Me, I'm E.A.
Well, Night Vibe just kind of happened. Elliot and I were working on a weekend show called Weekend Chart for TBS, and there is an opening for a 7-day-a-week show for the next season. So once we had this opportunity, Elliot and I both knew what we was going to do. We're going to push hip-hop as much as possible in Korea. TBS really didn't have any input in what we did, as long as we stayed within their really confusing and constantly changing guidelines. Night Vibe is very, very important to us because it gave us the opportunity to be positive spokespersons for hip-hop culture and for black people.
I used to feel like I was in a country full of races, like they would judge based on what the color of my face is. At one point, I was done fucking with you all, but if I kept that mentality...
This is a great question. With every opportunity for advancement, there's going to be sacrifice. Radio Invasion provides us with a platform to touch more people, and it definitely has released a tourniquet on our creativity. However, we're no longer on the Korean airwaves, which does make it more difficult for our Korean audience to tune in. However, if they're willing to visit our website, nightviberadio.com, or download the Radio Invasion smartphone application, or just look for Radio Invasion on iTunes Radio, then it's very easy to listen to Night Vibe.
Korean, there's some similarities that I'm seeing. Now you may or may not believe it, but I'ma take a second, break it down this evening.
Hell yeah. It sucks being black in Korea sometimes. For real. It's really frustrating for me because I see so many similarities between black and Korean culture and history. Honestly, I feel like there's no reason to receive some of the treatment that my black friends or that I've received. And honestly, I've had to work really hard on myself as a person while in Korea to maintain a 360 view on Korea and not to just focus on the unfavorable experiences that affect me personally. Furthermore, I have to say that my assimilation to Korean culture has been stunted as a result of this internal battle. So to answer your question more directly, I feel that my place in Korea has and always will be a teacher. I kind of alluded to this in a previous answer, but as a black man in the public eye, I'm definitely a non-paid spokesperson for black people. And I'm fine with that. I feel like breaking stereotypes and making people feel uncomfortable about their prejudices, I like doing that. And, this understanding of my role in non-American societies has actually encouraged me to stop the use of the N-word. I no longer use it in my music. And I definitely don't use it in my personal life around people that I don't want using it around me. So overall, being black in Korea has given me a stronger perspective of my relationship with the world.
Celebrities in my environment show that there's some kind of requirement for ignorant shit. Whether you Korean or American, in every corner store there is an alcoholic beverage. When I first came, I didn't know what menu to order from. Now I'm all around chicken more.
Yes. The language barrier can be very difficult to get around. But, I speak Korean in my personal life, and I'll occasionally throw a Korean line or two in my rhymes, but I mainly rhyme in English. And this situation has forced me to reformat my song structures and figure out how to create songs that are easier to remember and recite. And it's also affected what type of production I select. What I didn't realize is that this adaptation actually helped me with my English-speaking audience as well. Interestingly enough, starting my career in Korea has better prepared me for the American market. The unfortunate reality to this is, because hip-hop is so lyrical, it'll be difficult for Korean hip-hop to thrive outside of Korea. And I know that this is a concern to a certain degree in the Korean hip-hop community, but I'm actually interested to see how they're going to handle that in the future.
Nah, I don't need no. Feel me? I ain't trying to mess with no. Definitely don't want no. I need a woman, not a. 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 No bitches.
It's great to see K-pop evolving. G-Dragon's Crayon and CL's Nabun Gijibe, which in English is the baddest female. It has a lot of trap production, and obviously it has hip-hop delivery, and I love the way it sounds. So when it comes to K-pop, I love some of it and I hate some of it, but just like there's some hip-hop that I hate too. So ultimately, I'm just a fan of good music.
Really gonna be down and stick with you. Listening to a Rick Ross song like damn that hurts. Bitch ain't listening to one damn verse till he put $100,000 in her purse. Oh now she the biggest fan, got 100 grand, but she got a trick instead of a man. It's all good though, y'all would know this is the type of shit we playing on.
It's extremely important to me. There are times where I felt completely alone in Korea. No family, no people that I grew up around, and living in a city that just doesn't seem to like me at times. It can get very cold here, even in the summertime. My music, however, has been here consistently throughout my time in Korea. And at times, it was all I had. But my music would be nothing without the people that support it. So, I kind of lost track of that for a second. But it's true. The people that support me really are invaluable to me, which is why I stay awake for days sometimes to provide a quality product or a service or an event to them, for them. I love my supporters. It's real talk.
Had a conversation the other day with my old man.
Musically, I'm filming a music video right now for my newest single called Sun Rays. It's going to be on my next album, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to title the album Hero. So look for that in the next few weeks. As far as radio is going, we're gonna open Night Vibe up to advertisement. So Radio Invasion is making like 120,000 hits a week. That's a huge number. It's bigger than we was getting at TBS. So we're offering banners on the Radio Invasion website, on the Night Vibe website, commercials on the Night Vibe radio show, mentions during the show. Like you get your business or your brand mentioned while we're doing the show. So if you're a business, a brand, a musician, anything, and you're looking for affordable advertisement opportunities, then contact me. You can hit me up. All right? Actually, Pinnacle and the Antidote was disbanded a few years ago, and I started working with a new band called Pinnacle and RFD. RFD stands for Ready for Deportation. But seriously, I love performing with my band. Those guys, they're about as ignorant as I am, and the audience absolutely loves it. So Yeah, we'll come out with some more music later, but I gotta do this Pinnacle thing first.
Give you help with discounts on some property, then they give you funds so you can function properly. Now this sound all good, but what's funny to me, sound like the situation I was in when I was 15. Get some money from my parents from time to time, when I lay my head down in a house that wasn't mine. So government get food and a place to sleep.
Yeah, I love working with these artists. It was truly an honor to be included on these projects. Working with Vasco was always fun. All we do is crack jokes all day, and eventually we record stuff. For as influential as MC Mater is, he was extremely humble. I mean, super humble guy. I was really impressed with his professionalism and his overall demeanor. Be Free and H. Eugene, both of them dudes were a pleasure to work with. It was one of those situations where we all just really vibed. That's it. We just vibe with each other. We made music, and the music spoke for itself. In the future, I'd definitely like to murder a track with Swings and Doki, and hopefully make more music with other artists that I mentioned before, and artists that I've already collaborated with. So.
But I ain't rich yet. You get your money when I get mine, bitch. Yeah, I'm not interested in your interest.
Yeah, Planet Hustle is my music label. I decided that I wanted to take control of my own career, so I created a company and I pay myself. And I had thought about taking on other artists on the label, aside from RFD. But honestly, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I still have a lot to learn, and I still have a lot more knowledge to gain in certain areas of the industry. However, we do offer artist development services through the website planethustle.com. So definitely check that out. The easiest answer I can give is that it's life. That's how I can describe it. 1 minute life is a speeding roller coaster, and the next is peaceful. Sometimes life hurts, and other times it pisses you off. Sometimes in life we party and drink, and sometimes we engage in intellectual conversation. If you live life, and I mean truly live life, then you understand what I'm saying, and my music is for you. If you're just alive but not really living, then you won't understand my message. There are so many that come to name. I mean, you got Outkast, you got Eminem, Nas, Jay-Z, Rakim, Kool G Rap, KRS-One, Scarface, Big Daddy Kane, AZ, Big L, Ludacris. Like these are just some names that really stand out to me because they're really talented, and they all bring something special to hip hop. The Korean artist that I like the most would have to be Tiger JK and Yoon Mi-rae, also known as T. Big ups to them, man. They've had to overcome a lot of hatred and adversity in this country, yet they're still very successful. And I can relate to that. I love to see people come up and win big, for real. Honestly, I can't pick pick one Korean song that I like the most because there's so many great songs to choose from. Of course I know some French artists. I'm familiar with Sniper, MC Solar, there's a few others as well. But honestly, I wish I could connect more with the lyrics, but I don't speak French. To my fans, thank you for your support. Seriously, it really means a lot that you appreciate my art. So please tell your local promoter or night establishment to bring Pinnacle to your city. Okay? Bring me. Let's get it. My message to you, please don't stop. I know that sometimes it's tiresome and the burden is heavy, but don't stop. For real. You'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate what you've done years from now, because right now you're making history.
to rhyme tighter. You need to find a dead man to be my ghostwriter. Staying positive, it's hard to be in it at when it feels like you're being punished for sins you ain't committed yet. It's hard to make moves when you're stuck in a bucket. Or the way I see it, if life is a bitch, then fuck it.
Thank you for the opportunity to be interviewed under K Hip Hop. I'm definitely I'm humbled. The fact that you reached out to me. We in different countries. I don't even know how you found me, but I definitely appreciate it. And let's continue to work forward and move in a positive direction, and keep hip hop moving forward as well. So thank you for the time. I really appreciate it. It's your boy Pinnacle TheHustler, straight out of Cincinnati, Ohio, by way of Seoul, South Korea. Let's get it. Peace.
All over the track, I'm bringing it back. This the flow, I'm right from the recognition. Hitting a lyrical switch if you get offensive. Some people have images that are definitive of the description of bitches. Sick with the hits, it means I'm hitting them out with the sickness. Get with the wickedness. Witnesses are the sensitive sisters I'm delivering. I have no intention of paying a mission to give a percentage to none of you. Essence to get images more than your lyrics, cause I deform it as some more what your gimmicks of it. Expenses as we spin it, the only figures you flip